Hey Smashers and Smashheads, Skyner here once again from the Rouge, bringing today another episode of Inside the Mind of a Smasher. And today I was able to get Willow onto my show. As you guys know, down below is her social media, so feel free to check her out if you guys like this video, and as well as her Smash scene. So be sure to check that out. With that being said, guys, we're going to get into the question for the day, and the question is, what stages would you like to see be implemented into tournament play? And what would you guys like to see happen more at tournaments? With that being said, guys, we're going to jump into this episode of Inside the Mind of a Smasher, and as always, I'll see you guys in future episodes. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, it's Skynerd here from The Roost, bringing you today another episode of Inside the Mind of a Smasher, and today I've got Willow on my show. Willow, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing quite alright. What's going on in your life?
Not too much. Just came from CEO up in Florida, so had a blast down there.
How'd you do?
I got 33rd.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive. So,
My goal was just to make it out pools, so I'm happy.
Hey, I mean, 33rd is really good. So, I mean,
I'm ecstatic about it.
Yeah, that's.
It was my first tournament, like big tournament one.
That's really cool. So, what's your gamer tag?
My gamer tag is IcyMist.
And how'd you come up with that?
Well, whenever I was a kid, I played Final Fantasy X, and there was one summoning called, I think it's like Shiva. I can't remember that much now, but I was always addicted to like an ice element, so I came with Icy. And I think the Mist, I just randomly picked off a item in my room. I was like, what sounds good together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good name. I like it.
Thanks.
No problem. So, what scene are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania, over on the west side in Pittsburgh.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Do you have a good scene?
Oh yeah, pretty good players. We have like Mav, and there's like some people who are good, but they don't get out much. Like there's Phoenix, who's a Sonic player, really good player. Space Thing, Greninja, Bayo, Lucario, and there are many other players that I get a lot of experience from.
Okay. What's your main game?
My main game is Smash 4. And it's pretty much my only game right now.
Okay. And who's your main in Smash 4?
My main is Samus.
Wow. Okay. So
Not
we're
the suit Samus, the good Samus.
Oh, any other Samus that's not in a suit needs to get out.
Fake Samus.
Why do you play Samus?
Well, whenever I'm asked that question, a lot of people think I play the Metroid games. I've only played one Metroid game, so it's not because of that. It's because whenever I first picked up this game, I think I mained Lucina, but everyone was using projectiles, walling me out. And this was on For Glory, keep in mind.
Okay.
So I was like, how do I get in? So I just go through the cast. I'm like, who has projectiles, who can combo, and who can spike? Because no matter where, I'll always go for spikes. So Samus just fit all of that, so I end up with her.
Nice. Very cool. What's your PR in your scene?
I've only gone to locals recently, so I'm not in the updated one. With talking to them and everything, I'm either going to be 1 or 2.
Wow. Okay. So you just kind of shot right up there.
Yeah.
Nice. So you sound like you dominate your scenes, like really hard.
I wouldn't say dominate. Like I mentioned, the Phoenix is the Sonic player. I have a lot of trouble with Sonic. He has beaten me consistently. Like, I don't think I've taken a set off him. And there's some other players like Mav is good. Mav, I think he's number 1 right now. So there's a lot of good players, so it's not domination.
Okay, that's cool. What's your origins of Smash? How'd you get started?
Well, I've always been a Smash fan, either playing casually on the originals or watching Twitch and these big tournaments. I used to play like Naruto. This might sound weird. I played a game called Naruto Revolution, Naruto Storm 3, Naruto Storm 4. I always played those competitively online. Like, I had friends on there, played a lot with them. Well, there's not really anything big with that scene. It's a small community, so there's no tournaments, nothing going on. But so I wanted to get into something more big. Like, I'd prefer going out to tournaments, meeting new people and all that. So I took my love of watching and casual playing Smash and just took my Naruto life over to Smash.
Very cool. I can respect that for sure. Okay, so that's a cool story of how you got into Smash. What is one of your favorite moves to use with Samus?
Okay, that's an easy one. I love my dare. I always go for spikes, like I said, and her dare is so good. Like, people underestimate the move, but I think it's one of the best spikes in the game.
Mm-hmm. Why do you feel like that's the case?
It's just like Samus can go out far off stage, so she can hang out there, wait for air dodges, and still be able to recover. So her dare, it usually lasts a long time, and nearly the whole thing, except for like the beginning swing and the end of it, is an automatic spike.
I see. And that makes sense of why it's such a good move, because it lasts for so long and it has such a wide coverage.
Exactly.
We're going to jump more into the game now. What's one of your favorite stages competitively and just for fun? Like something casual that you like to play?
I'd say my favorite competitive stage would have to be Lilat. I know a lot of Samus players hate the stage, but I love it. I think it's one of her best. And if I had to say casual stage, well, it used to be legal, but I love Halberd.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I can up B and kill early.
Oh, because of the transitioning stage,
Yep.
kind of like Delphino?
Going for the jank kills.
Gotcha. I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, so.
Oh, I have to throw in Congo Jungle 64. Like, you can't hate that stage.
That stage is so cool. I wish it was competitively viable, but there's a lot of jank with it, so it's kind of sad.
Like, you have a little bit of hope that it might be, but gets shot down.
Yeah, just kind of similar to Umbra. I felt kind of bad that Umbra didn't make it in so that we could have more stages to work with, but...
Actually, in my scene, they have Umbra legal.
Oh, wow.
And I hate it.
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, I've always personally thought Umbra was such a cool stage, but...
Oh, it's great. It hurts my eyes a little bit, like the transitioning and all of that.
Yeah.
That's because of camera. Most of the time, I'll just ban it whenever I try to do sets in my locals.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. What's your thoughts on listening to music during a game?
Personally, I never listen to music. I don't even play with game sound. Like, usually when I'm at home, I don't play with any sound at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer, like, say a quiet room and just listening to my controller, which is kind of hard at tournaments because everyone's so loud.
Mm-hmm.
With music, I don't listen to anything. I think it would be smart for me to do maybe another day.
Do you feel like you get easily distracted?
Yeah, especially if a crowd is against me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know at CEO and in Florida in general, I went to a local in Florida, and every time I try to play, there are people screaming behind me. Just, like,
That's Florida.
I don't know what the local is called. I know they were like a close-knit group, and they cared for like people in their area. Most of the time, it was people rooting against me. So that sort of stuff just gets in my head a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's understandable. How do you tune that stuff out? How do you get past it?
I'd say since I don't have that much experience offline yet, I still need to get out there more. I know whenever I'm trying to play, I just try to focus more on the game in general and try to watch the movements and try to tone them out maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But there's really not much you can do. Like, no matter what, you can always hear them.
Yeah.
But then again, it might be because I don't have that much experience yet.
I mean, it comes with time. The more that you go out there, the more you do stuff, the more you're able to tune people out, or music helps and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, I might need to try that.
Hype is real. Like, it's really cool to have it. So I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on coaching during a game?
Personally, I think coaching should be allowed. Like, with any sport, like say in other video games, say Counter-Strike or anything like that, you can have coaches in those sort of environments.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Smash should be just the same. Like, there's nothing bad against it. Sure, you get a little bit of advice, but you're the one who's executing everything. Just because someone put an idea in your head doesn't fundamentally change how you play.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. I agree with you. I think that, ultimately it is the player who is playing the game. I can see how having a coach there to help you and not necessarily give you all the answers, but to just kind of push you along, and help you out in that regards definitely helps.
Exactly.
What's your mentality during a game? Let's say you take the first stock, okay? What's going through your mind, but you're at higher percents?
Well, whenever I'm up a stock on someone, but I'm at high percents, I usually just try to play more defensively, well, obviously. And there's another thing that I love to do with Samus. She has a cool trick that on most of the cast, if I have a high amount of rage, if I do a dash attack into a screw attack, it can kill at 0.
What?
So, yeah, like I know it works even on fat characters like Bowser, Ganondorf, Mario, and it works on plenty of the cast. I think it mainly doesn't work on fast followers. So, the first thing that pops in my head is, does this work on that character? And if it doesn't, then I'll just play defensively, try to bait as much as I can without throwing out too many moves.
A dash attack into up B kills at 0?
Yep, at certain, like, Bowser, I think he needs to be around 30%. Mario needs to be like 20%. Luigi, it kills at 0. Rosalina, it kills at like 5%. There's plenty of characters it doesn't work on, and it does and does not work on.
That's absolutely nuts.
It's the most jank thing she has, and I love it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, if it works, use it. That's
Playing Smash 4.
That's crazy. Okay. All right. That just blew my mind a little. So, sorry. Okay, so aside from a dash attack to up B, what's one of your favorite strategies to employ during a fight?
My favorite strategy is I use my missiles to try to pop the other person up in the air. Either they try to jump it or something, and I try to punish their landings. I try to use my great up air to try and get some combo strings. That's like my main strategy, is to try and get someone above me and completely destroy them trying to get back down.
Right. Okay. So you're a very aerial based fighter.
If I had to categorize my whole playstyle, I would say I'm more of a baiting sort of person. With Samus, I need to constantly be spacing since a lot of her moves aren't that safe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to bait as much as I can, try to get a dash attack, and just try to get things off of that.
What's been one of your hardest fights that you've done in your Smash career?
If I had to say my hardest fight, I'd say it was to the person I lost to at CEO, which was True Blue. He completely demolished me. Like, I had 0 chance. He's a Sonic player, and obviously Samus has a lot of trouble with Sonic, and he played the matchup pretty much perfectly. He played defensive, he didn't throw out unnecessary moves, and he basically just completely walled me out and made me feel like I couldn't do anything. And I have to say that's my hardest matches I've played so far.
That makes sense to me. Sonic's a very difficult matchup, and
yeah,
so it makes a lot of sense that he would play defensively against you, and a primarily projectile-based character.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, missiles clank with spin dash. The only thing I have that can stop a spin dash is a charge shot, which I'm not able to get because they're usually so fast. They just prevent me from getting it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. They're just on you all the time. They're either on you or they're off you.
Exactly. I know. Like Johnny Westside said the matchup is terrible for us, and then Esam Opinions, he said it's not too bad.
Well, I mean, it's nice to get advice from some pro players every now and then, but you gotta ultimately determine the situation for yourself and how you would best handle it. So I definitely agree that it could be difficult for sure. What's your main goal in Smash 4? What is it you want to accomplish?
With Smash 4, I don't think Samus is viable by herself. So when I play her, my goal isn't to win a national. I guess it's sort of to prove that Samus can do something. Like, I know a lot of tier lists put her at near the very bottom, and I thought that was completely underrated. So I'm trying to just do the best I can, get her get more players to actually pick her up, and just, I guess you could say, just lead the character and what she can do.
I see, create a whole new kind of front for that character.
There's not too many people who play her. I know there's the Samus Discord, there's people on there, but there doesn't seem to be as many as compared to other characters.
that makes sense. Samus is kind of definitely a rare character to be seen played in tournament for sure. So, by the way, mad respect for playing Samus. I think that's really cool.
Thanks.
Is there any advice that you'd give to newer players who want to get into the competitive scene?
To get better in the scene, if you're an online player, say you're starting off online before you go offline and everything. I play on Anther's Ladder a lot. Like, that's like my main go-to place if I want to learn matchups. It's not too good, like, Wi-Fi doesn't prove how skilled you are, but you can learn a lot from it. So Anther's Ladder is my favorite place to actually get some fun in, learn some stuff, and if not that, say that you want more than that, say that you've reached your limit online, I'd say go to your local Smash scene. Like, that's the best place to ever meet new people, get some advice. Going to these tournaments, even though you might not do too well, for say it's your first time, you of course can learn a lot of stuff from people.
I definitely agree with you, and I personally use Anthers as well, and I think it's a great opportunity to learn matchups. It is so good for that, because
and there's a lot of diverse people on here. Like, you can see like 4 Pac-Mans at once.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is so cool.
And then you'll go to a tournament and you won't see a single one.
Oh yeah. Gosh dang it, I just played all these freaking Pac-Mans. Why is there none here? Yeah,
there's only a few characters you usually don't see on Anthers, like Almar. Like, I don't think anyone plays that character.
That's pretty,
like the Buzz.
Yeah, that's pretty rare. I definitely agree with you.
Other than that, you can learn a lot of stuff from Anthers.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, IcyMist, before we wrap up this interview, is there any shout-outs that you'd like to give to anyone?
Okay, I have a few shout-outs.
Cool, go for it.
Shout-outs to my old Naruto players that I used to hang out with. CK, shout-outs to Magatsu, Hiraku, Wendy Sensei. And I also want to give some shout-outs to my local scene. Mab, Phoenix, Space Thing, Raw, Chrome, Midnight, Suave, everyone out there. I'm probably leaving out some names. Oh, 16 Pains. He uses Samus. And I think that's about it.
Cool. Well, IcyMist, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day for this interview.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Hey, not a problem. As always, guys, be sure to check out her social media down below. It's going to be in the description, so be sure to check that out. IcyMist is an awesome player. I've gotten the privilege to actually face her before, so she's very tough. So, with that being said, thank you so much again, and we look forward to hearing more about your progression in locals and hearing about how you continue to impress in the scene.
I'll try my best.
All right, thank you so much, and have a great day.
You too.